Hello there guys and girls, this is the Prussian Prince with our Rome 2 tournament match. This is Blues tournament, again, round 2 match between the Prussian Prince, aka myself, part of Agony Clan, and Pontic of Sith. It is the Battle of Turn, and I'm playing as Rome, whereas Pontic is the boy. Boy, whatever, both sound pretty cool. I think boy actually sounds cooler than the boy, I suppose. Anyway, I'm gonna go over my build. As you can see, it's a pretty long replay, so I'm gonna start fast forwarding. I have 4 Legionary Cavalry. I have 1 Vigilise on each flank and then 2 Vigilise in the center. Got 2 Syrian Archers and a Legatus Commander General. Then I do have a main line of a lot of Armored Legionaries actually. So I have 5 Armored Legionaries, mostly in like the center, like all the way in the center I have an Evocati cohort, and on the flanks I do have 1 Veteran Legionary. So this is a pretty strong Roman build against the boy, I think. Now we'll see what we're gonna do here. Because you can see, since the replay is so long, and by the way I'll tell you why it's so long actually. Basically, you see both players spawn in a forest. I spawn in a forest, he spawns in a forest. But the thing is, if he attacks me in the forest, he's kind of dead if he goes over this open ground, because I'll get excellent shots off with my Syrian Archers, whereas the Celtic Slingers won't really be able to do too well, right? Because he does have 2 Celtic Slingers on the field, I believe. And yeah, it's gonna be hard for him to push into my forest, and I can't really push into this forest. Yes, I could have probably made a line over here against his forces, but that is riskier than just sitting here and scouting out with my Legionary Cav, because I don't know where he has his units and where they actually are. So why should I go into a forest without knowing what is in it beforehand? I don't see the point. It feels like it's a very risky choice, I think, anyway. Whereas he also cannot go into my forest because he doesn't know what I have whatsoever. Besides that, I have 4 Legionary Cav and 2 Vigilies on each flank. Actually, this one he doesn't even see at the moment, but he'll see it later, I think. So at some point, I believe that we will both just be reorganizing our troops, and like I'll ask him. We'll be talking. We actually discussed a lot during this battle. Like we talked about how weird it is, and I kept suggesting him that we should get out and engage here on the open ground. It's fairest. I think actually it's worse for me because I'm very close to this red line. I'm also very close to this red line, whereas he actually has a lot of room to maneuver compared to me. So that is not very good for me, to be honest. Like this area over here, because it's very confined. I don't really have much room to skirmish. So I think overall this is pretty bad for me, this position, because like if it comes down to my slingers, it will be difficult to pull them out this way or this way, because as you can see, again, there's a red line. So I suggested that, and I knew that it wouldn't be so good for me. I even mentioned it in the game, and I think it's like engaging in the open ground isn't as effective for me, at least, because then his charges will be much more effective, and his units have much higher charge bonus than mine do. Whereas if he actually doesn't get the charges off, like my Armored Legionaries should beat Sword Followers, and the Vocatis as well, I think, would do it. Probably even Veteran Legionaries, if I can engage properly. So still, as you can see, 15 minutes left on the timer without much going on. Sorry, just chatting with the Blade Master on Steam. Let's see. So yeah, at this point we both decide to actually go on the open ground and engage like that. But again, I feel like this is disadvantageous to me personally. Like as Rome against boy, it's not as great. Sure, my cavalry charges will be better, and so will the Syrian Archers, but then like that will go better for me, but the thing is his charges, his infantry charges will be devastating on mine. So I think it's not good for me what I'm doing here, but I'm doing it anyway. Like, we both agreed that we should engage on the open ground at the end of the day. Anyway, I am going to go over his build actually. So he has 3 Levy Freemen up front, and he has as well, I believe 3, 4, 5, 6 Sword Followers and 2 Old Sworns. He's got his 2 Old Sworns on his right flank. This is very, very interesting and very risky. Like, I noticed this from like once he deployed out of the forest. And also his general is a strategist, of course. Then he has 2 Celtic Slingers, interesting choice. 4 Heavy Horse and 2 more Levy Freemen in the back, so 5 Levy Freemen in total. I like his build a lot actually, but I don't like the way he positioned his build, to be honest. I think that he should have put, maybe if he wanted to do something like this, maybe put his Old Sworn General here and Old Sworn General here. But I still think his Old Sworn General would still be best used here, behind his first line of Levy Freemen and his second line of Sword Followers. And he can put his second Old Sworn maybe somewhere like here. I think that would be the most efficient way of putting his Old Sworns. But I do see his point. He wants to overload my left flank with the Old Sworns, but you'll see how that's gonna go for him. And at this point, like, I repositioned the Syrian Archer to dish out a lot of damage from the unprotected side of this Old Sworn General. So like, this is really, really big for me at this point. I'm doing a lot of damage to this Old Sworn, and he's gonna have to chase me with something here. Because this unit will be able to kite that way if necessary and get even better shots. He's gonna have to chase with something. This was risky by me because he could get me with Heavy Horse, but I do have these units in position. And here come his Heavy Horse. This is where I actually make a mistake this game, I think. I'm trying to chase his Heavy Horse, seeing if I can get to them. I guess I do a bit of HP damage here, maybe kill a few of them with the Syrian Archer too. Here I'm gonna pull back, but this is where the mistake happens. I don't think... Yeah, I actually get some jabs off onto the Heavy Horse, but this is not worth it. I'm super blobbed right here. But here I continue to do a lot of damage to his Old Sworns. This is where I'm really confident though in this position, as I'm trying to flank around his Old Sworn General with veteran legionaries, armored legionaries, and trying to get legionary cav over here. Just micro here with that unit though, and on this flank I've got legionary cav through, but didn't really give attack orders. Here my vigilantes will get charged by sword followers, so not the best by me here. I should have continued pulling back here, whereas this legionary cav is not doing what it needs to do, which is getting the Celtic Slingers. That's good for me. I mean, that's not good for me, but this Old Sworn, I'm shooting the hell out of it with Syrian Archers, trying to disengage here. But yeah, I mismicroed hugely here. I lost the Syrian Archer almost for free. Vigiles didn't really do too well here. Though I'm going to be able to get a Legionary Cav through and into the Celtic Slingers. That's going to be good for me. Thing is, he's going to get charges off with his Sword Followers. I didn't charge in while my Vigiles were engaged, so I messed that up. And here he's going to be able to do basically the same. And I give wrong attack orders as well, so I don't get the charge orders off. My Syrian Archers are dying over here. Legionary Cav, I pulled it out of this engagement to stop his Heavy Horse. Here, this is a good move by me. One Legionary Cav will defeat his 2 Celtic Slingers, so that's going to be very important for me as well. Now I'm going to have to engage this Heavy Horse with a Legionary Cav. I'm sending also this Armored Legionary because I need his Heavy Horse off the field so I can actually kite with Slingers. I've got the Slinger over here, but it's kind of hard for me to get proper shots off. I'm going to start targeting the right side of this Sword Follower, deal as much damage as possible. And here come these Levy Freemen routing off the field already. His own Sworn General is gone, and I believe he is dead. Indeed he is. So this is a huge turning point in the battle for me, I think. Now I see this Heavy Horse is trying to get into my Slingers. Gonna send this Legionary Cav with 7 men left to stop it. Even see if I can get the Vigiles in there. Legatus going around. This Vigiles has actually killed the Levy Freeman unit. I'm gonna go around. I'm losing the Legionary Cav to Heavy Horse though, so that's not good for me. That's a really bad trade. In fact, here I'm gonna beat the Heavy Horse with the supporting Armored Legionaries, so that's a good trade for me. Sword Followers here destroying Armored Legionaries, Veteran Legionaries getting destroyed by Sword Followers as well. It's got some charges going on here. Actually, no, not charges. It's 2 Sword Followers. That's why they're winning. This Evocati cohort is holding strong against the Sword Followers, and now he's gonna get rear charges off into my Armored Legionaries. Should get a decent amount of kills here, or HP damage done. Look at this Heavy Horse starting to get kills on the Armored Legionary. That's not good for me, but the thing is, I did really well against his old swords, and that's what I needed to get out of the field. At this point, I'm feeling pretty confident, but I still need to send my sword units around and see if I can get into his heavy horse. So here Vigily's getting destroyed by Levy Freeman, but Vigily's already getting a few nice amount of kills here. I'm gonna get into his heavy horse as well, also targeting with my Syrian archers. I targeted them before, but now I'm going to start targeting the rear of these sword followers as well. I'm engaging his heavy horse here with Legionary Cav and Vigiles. This is gonna be good for me as I can take out that unit. Here I am essentially surrounding this one unit of sword followers, so I think that's good for me. One of them is already routed off the field. Here he does actually pull through his Vigiles, and I believe his sword followers pull through to get into my skirmishes, but it's not a big deal anyway, because I can get to them with my Vigiles. Kind of destroys a lot of my Syrian archers, but still. At this point I've got a pretty big advantage. You can see the veteran legionaries will go into the Levy Freeman here as well. Sword follower is encircled by like 3 armored legionaries, so it's not gonna do well, but actually it's still getting a surprising amount of kills. That being said, heavy horse rear charging might actually rout that 1 armored legionary. In fact, should be able to rout it. Got my legatus around here. This one Levy Freeman, no chance against veteran legionaries. So veteran legionaries losing to sword followers, expected I guess. Here my armored legionaries though, going to crush this one sword follower because it's low on HP and it's taken a lot of damage, and this should basically be game. Let's zoom in a little bit and get some nice action. Well, actually it's basically over at this point, so unfortunately I couldn't show everything. But again, what I want to say is that you shouldn't really pick maps like this to play like tournaments on, because all these forests that both players spawn in, and again this game doesn't have any dojos or anything on any map objectives, which kind of makes it annoying to play, and more defense and means that defensive strategies might actually do pretty well. I would really prefer if they had something like Shogun 2's dojos on the field, or something like, I don't know, something where if you captured it, it gave a bonus to your troops, or especially something for skirmishers, I think, because it would make them much more useful, and you wouldn't have to rely on getting proper shots off as much. Like, you could skirmish, because this game I wanted to use my Syrian archers, but I knew that they had limited ammunition, so I couldn't just move up and start shooting into his forest, because that was going to be ineffective, I think. So I was trying to get proper shots off, which I did with that one unit and this one here too. And that's what allowed me to win the game, I think. Well, the Syrian archers, and then basically eliminating his old swords without losing too much of them. Look, 87 kills, 56 kills. I dealt with them very well because I got Legionary Cav in, I got into them to disrupt their charge, then I attacked from like at least 2 angles, I think 3. Got them surrounded, and yeah, that was a risky move by him to put 2 old swords, including his general, on one flank, and then push up so hard like that on, and make them get surrounded, because that was one of the only things that could have lost him the game, I think, that move. Because overall I think Boy can definitely do well against Rome, in my opinion anyway. But you can see here that my Vigiles actually did a good job. Syrian archers not getting too many kills, but they got a lot of HP damage done, especially on the old swords, so that was good. These armored legionaries tanking it out, as well as the veteran legionaries. They did pretty decently. Whereas his sword followers, yeah, they got a lot of kills too, but some of them didn't. Still, sword followers very, very efficient in battle. He had a lot of Levy Freemen here, which could do the damage. 2 Celtic Slingers didn't do much because I destroyed them with Legionary Cavalry. This one unit probably. So that was good use of Legionary Cavalry. His heavy horse, 92 men and 16 killed here. These guys, I mean, this guy was pretty inefficient, so is this guy. 2 of them got some kills though. I guess it's a lot of kills on the Vigiles and Syrian archers, so it's not really that great for him. In fact, I don't think his heavy horse got too efficient this battle, because they didn't kill my Syrian archers off. Well, only 1 Syrian archer. That was pretty good by him. Get rid of it, but then I don't think he did enough damage to my infantry lines. Or he actually did damage with the heavy horse. He rear charged nicely, but at that point, like, I didn't. He lost 2 old swords and he had 6 sword followers left. So winning the melee engagement for him would have been very hard. as I had like armored legionaries and evocatis and veteran legionaries left. So I guess that is the one move that lost him the game, the 2 Oathsworns on that flank, just pushing forward like that. I think that's what the one thing that lost him the game, indeed. Because with those 2 Oathsworns, he could have destroyed my main line completely, I think. But anyway, that is game, so hope you guys enjoyed. If you want to see more, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+. Share the video, and I'll see you next time.